Hi everyone, welcome to our LiTime video channel. Ever wished your battery could talk to your electrical system and tell you what's going on? Well, now it can. Today we're introducing the 12V 100Ah Smart ComFlex Battery with T5.0 technology, which speaks and links all. LiTime Tech has evolved from T1.0 all the way to T5.0, turning the silent battery into the speaking powerhouse. So what makes the T5.0 tech so special? In fact, it solves many problems that customers are concerned about and eager to be improved, such as the inability to communicate with external devices and devices of other brands. So, what are the benefits of being able to communicate? Simple! Once they're able to communicate, the battery can automatically send data to other parts of the system, like the solar inverter charger. The battery automatically reports data to the system and then lets the external communication device, like hybrid inverters, intelligently adjusts the optimal charging current to recharge the battery according to the battery's SOC and temperature. The battery will always be charged in the optimal state, which will extend the battery life and cycle times. But that's not all. Those devices can also manage how the battery charges, discharges, and even shuts the whole system down. Let's dive into the new product together. First, let's take a quick look at the structure of this battery. Here we have the power button. A simple press will turn the battery on. Press and hold the battery again for 3 seconds to turn it off. In the case of parallel communication, the battery of a single battery can quickly control the on-off status of the entire battery system. Surrounding the battery button is the LED indicator, which gives you an indication of the battery's charge level and whether it's in a protected state or not. Now, let's focus on the communication ports. The batteries can communicate with each other via the CAN-Ps. Both the RS485 and the CAN-I can be used as communication ports between the battery system and the external devices, such as connecting to the display screens, the solar inverter charger, and the communication center. Which port to connect depends on which communication method your external device supports. Whether it be the RS485 or the CAN communication, both communication methods support customized protocols. And guess what? This battery also supports Bluetooth functionality, because why not? We can use this LiTime app to monitor battery data and even control the battery discharge status or power off. We can also perform over-the-air upgrades on the product via Bluetooth. The data background manages the program version and can upgrade the product's firmware. How cool is that, right? After a firmware upgrade, it can handle even more protocols and stay compatible with even more tech. It's just like when we upgrade our phone's firmware. We get cool new features without buying a new phone. Imagine if our phones only understood Chinese and English before, but after the update, it suddenly understands all languages in the world. Pretty cool, right? This battery supports up to 16 batteries in parallel communication, which can be expanded to a maximum of 12 volts, 1600 amp hours system, up to 20.48 kilowatt hours. All right, let's move on to the hands-on part, building the energy storage system. First, make sure both batteries are fully charged and turned off. Connect all the positive terminals together and all the negative terminals together. Next, connect the battery to the external device via the RS485 or the CAN-I port, depending on which communication method the device supports. We will show both of these in the video. So, how exactly does the battery talk to the display? Let's find out together. Connect the external device to the RS485 port, such as the LiTime dedicated display. Or connect the external device to the CAN-I port using the external communication cable provided, such as the Victron communication center device. Make sure to tighten screws to prevent it from falling off. Then use the included parallel communication cable to connect the remaining CAN-P port on this battery to any communication port of the other batteries. Make sure to tighten the screws of all communication cables to achieve a waterproof seal. Our R&D team knew many of you folks use batteries in bumpy places like RVs or boats. So we added secure screws to the communication cables. Nice touch, right? This means you can trust it in even shaky and humid conditions. Press any of the battery buttons for system power up. Now, let's power on the display by clicking the power button. We'll see the battery system's power voltage, SOC, current communication status, and operational status on the home page. The battery protection status will be directly displayed here, which will help us quickly diagnose battery failures and take appropriate measures to quickly improve the problem. Switch to the system page to check the remaining capacity and the total number of batteries in the system. In the control page, we can manage the discharge switch and shut down the entire battery system. Let's try turning it off. All the batteries are off now. We can also easily turn the entire system on by short pressing the power button on any battery. The details page on the display shows all the status for each individual battery. What? Not great with English? No worries. In the Control tab, the System Control page lets us easily switch languages and temperature units. We've got all users covered. Now, how does this battery talk to other CAN-enabled devices? Let's connect this special communication center to the battery display and solar inverter charger. Then turn them on one by one. After communication is established and settings adjusted to your preferences, we can view the battery details on the display. With a computer or smartphone, you can remotely monitor the system data and control the system's on and off status, charging and discharging status, and limit the charging current and voltage. If the battery BMS fails, such as entering overcharging protection or over temperature protection, etc., the system will automatically identify and intelligently cut off the load to achieve double protection. This system also supports RV and marine protocols. Here's what that means. If the RV or boat uses RVC or NMEA 2000 protocols, you can check battery data right on your cockpit screen. Don't underestimate these two communication ports. They're not just for the communication center or the LiTime displays. Want to connect other devices? Just share the protocol details. LiTime can design and test compatibility, then deliver it straight to the device via Bluetooth over-the-air updates. Soon, everything will talk smoothly together. After a short wait, the screen will show that the update is complete and we'll be able to communicate with devices that support the corresponding protocol. How convenient is that? After external communication, the data transmission and response speed increased by about 16 times. How'd we do it? Before this function was implemented, it took 8 seconds for the battery to transmit data to the external devices, but now it only takes half a second. We went from dial-up to 5G, making the overall operation smoother and experience better. With its brains and wide compatibility, the T5.0 Tech product hooks up effortlessly with leading inverter chargers, inverters, and control systems, giving us diverse info, longer lifetime, and smart system control. That's all for today's introduction to the 12-volt Smart ComFlex product. By the way, the 24 and the 48-volt versions are also coming soon, so stay tuned. If you have any questions or suggestions, please drop them down below in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you next time.